Hi, I'm Sarah, owner of the instructional CopyCat Yoga mat. I'm a registered yoga teacher, and I'm in the final week of my first trimester. Go ahead and join me in a comfortable seat, sitting with a nice tall spine, beginning to connect with your breath. When you're pregnant, you release more relaxin, so you want to make sure that you stretch a little less than usual. And listen to your body. If anything causes you pain or discomfort, go ahead and skip it. And take your palms to touch in front of your heart center. If you'd like to make an intention for your practice, please do so now. Placing your hands onto your heart center, placing that intention deep inside your heart, allowing it to manifest and grow with each inhale. And take your palms back to touch, interlace your fingers, and begin to make some slow circles with your wrists. In yoga, we ask a lot of our wrists, so it's always good to warm them up. Coming in the opposite direction. And then releasing the fingers, shaking out the fingers, just removing any stuck energy that you might be holding on to. And then place your hands onto your thighs. Gently, as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale, peek the gaze up. Exhale, drop the chin to the chest. And inhale, come back to neutral. Gently place the right hand onto the earth on the outside of your thigh. And inhale, sweep your left arm up, stretching through the side body, maybe taking the gaze up. Exhale the left hand down onto the earth. Inhale the right arm up, peeking the gaze up. And exhale the hand back down. Inhale, sweep both arms up. And exhale, gently twist to your right, placing your left hand onto your knee, taking the right hand behind you. Nice gentle twists, especially when you're pregnant. Inhale, reach the arms back up. And exhale, twist to the left, placing the right hand onto the left knee. Inhale, return back to center, sweeping the arms up overhead. And exhale the hands back down onto the knees. Gently beginning to warm up the torso by making some big circles with the chest. And coming in the opposite direction. Remember to stay connected with the breath. And then make your way onto your hands and knees as we cycle through our cow and cat. Spreading the fingertips nice and wide apart. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders. Knees are stacked below the hips. As you inhale, come to your cow, lifting your head, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly. Exhale to your cat. Round the spine, tuck the head, tuck the tailbone, lift the belly. Inhale, come back to your cow. And exhale to your cat. Inhale back to neutral. Coming into cat-cow freestyle, where you just move your body any way that feels good to you. It can be big circles with your hips, maybe figure eights, whatever your body is calling for. And then pause and come in the opposite direction. we're going to come to child's pose with wider knees. So taking the knees a little bit further apart. The toes can touch behind you if that feels good. And then exhale and begin to sit your hips back towards your heels. Extend the fingertips forward towards the front of your mat. Maybe you connect your forehead with the earth. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We tend to store a lot of tension in our jaw, so gently open your mouth here and allow your jaw to move from side to side. And close your mouth back down. Inhale, return back to your hands and knees. You can take the knees back underneath your hips. Take the toes back behind the knees. And then tuck your toes underneath you. And we're going to push back to downward facing dog, lifting up the hips towards the sky. You're in this upside down V. It may feel good to walk your dog by pedaling out your feet. So lifting one heel, pushing it back down to the earth and lifting the other. And just gently pedaling from side to side. And then from here, take your feet really wide apart so that your toes are pointed out and your heels are pointed in. Begin to bend your knees a whole lot and walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into Malasana squatting pose. You can take your hands to touch in front of your heart center and then use your elbows to draw your knees open. If you need to have a wider stance, you can always turn sideways onto your mat. This will allow you to have more mat to work with so you can bring your feet further apart. Breathing into your low back here. And then place your hands onto Mother Earth. Slowly begin to lift your hips up to the sky. Coming into a forward fold. Might feel good to shake out the head. And just release any negative thoughts that you might be having. Any worries, any what ifs, just let them go. Make room for positive thoughts. And then begin to roll up one vertebra at a time as you inhale. And then roll the shoulders up, back and down a few times. And we're going to find goddess pose. So you might want to heel toe your feet a little bit further apart. The toes are going to point out and the heels are going to point in. And then as you exhale, you're going to sink down, bending the knees a whole lot. You can even lift up your toes and then place them back down. And then inhale, take your hands out to the side. Exhale, sink a little bit lower. Yes, you can. Inhale, reach up for star pose, straightening the arms and the legs. And exhale, sink back down into your goddess. Inhale, come back to star. And exhale your hands onto your thighs. We're going to make our way into warrior two. So take your left toes and point them towards the front of your mat. And then heel toe your back foot so that your stance is nice and wide. And you want to have the back edge of your foot parallel with the back of your mat. Place your hands onto your hips and then begin to bend your front knee nice and deep. And then check in with the knee. The knee has the tendency to want to roll in, but you want to push it out towards the outer edge of your foot to protect your knee health. Then when you're ready, inhale, take your arms out to the sides and take your gaze over your front fingers. Strong, powerful warrior. Where would you like to have more power in your life, more strength? Coming into side angle pose, you're going to bend your front elbow, then place the forearm onto the thigh. Inhale, sweep that top arm up and over, and then you can peek your gaze wherever it feels good on your neck. You can look up, you can look forward, you can look down, whatever feels good to you. Using your intuition. Inhale, coming back through Warrior Two, placing your hands onto your hips, and then pivoting the feet so you're facing the other direction. Bending that front knee. Again, looking down at the knee, making sure you push it out. Inhale, take the arms out to the side, taking the gaze over those front fingers. Finding your inner strength. Finding side angle pose by bending the front elbow, placing the forearm onto the thigh, and inhale, sweep the left arm up and over. Staying with your breath here. Inhale, come back to Warrior Two. Place your hands onto your hips, straightening that front leg, and then pivoting the feet towards the front of your mat. And then heel toeing the feet together. And then gently make your way onto your back. We're going to be coming into half bridge, and it's very important in half bridge that you don't look from side to side once you've lifted up your hips. So just take that into mind. Slowly rolling down onto your back, leaving your knees bent. Placing your hands by your sides, palms facing down. And then as you inhale, begin to lift your hips up to the sky. Again, this is where you don't want to look from side to side, so take your gaze up at the sky. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lifting those hips a little bit higher. And then exhale, returning the hips back down to the earth. Rolling down one vertebra at a time. And then take your feet a little bit wider apart. Then you're just going to gently allow your knees to drift to the right. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, allow them to drift to the left. Inhale, back to center. And then coming to butterfly feet. So taking the soles of the feet to touch, opening up the knees. Placing your right hand onto your belly. And then your left hand. Just sending some love to the little being inside of you that's growing. Just having gratitude that you're pregnant. Enjoying this journey. And then make your way into Shavasana, final relaxation by extending the legs long on your mat. Palms can face up, being open to receiving rest. Close down your eyes and take your focus to your exhales that help to calm the mind and body. Learning to still the body so you can still the thoughts in your mind. Begin to take some deeper inhales. Invite some gentle movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And then gently roll to your left into Embryo Pose, bending the knees, rolling onto your side, feeling the support of Mother Earth beneath you. Place your top hand onto the earth and slowly begin to push yourself up into a comfortable seat with your head being the very last part of your body to rise. Take your palms to touch and bring them in front of your third eye. May your practice bring clarity to your thoughts, palms to your lips, compassion to your speech, palms to your chest, and love in your hearts. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and congratulations on your pregnancy.